All right. Well, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are so grateful that you took time out of your evening. If you're a consultant, thank you for being here. But if you're a guest, I just want to say thank you so much for supporting your consultant. She is probably working towards a big goal this month, because if you didn't know, June 30th is the end of the fiscal year in Mary Kay. We call it the seminar year. And so your consultant likely has a big goal. She was likely challenged to have a certain amount of ladies watch this tonight. So thank you for supporting her. And just so you know that all the guests who are watching, you are entitled to get 15% off any Mary Kay products that you want, and your consultant or her director might have an extra special for you. So make sure that you connect with her and check in with her. And as you're watching this, make sure you type in the chat. Let us know that you are watching. Say, I'm here. And if your YouTube account name doesn't match your name, type your full name so that we can give you credit for being on here live, because we're going to be doing a prize drawing this evening. Once this live is over, we will tally up everybody who is on. And you also get additional entries into the prize drawing for typing questions in the comments. And we have our fabulous question master, Michelle, who is in the comments, and she's going to be answering all your questions in the comments, but you get extra entries if you ask any business related questions about how our company works, what it's like to be a Mary Kay beauty consultant, how we make our money. And we're just hoping that the information that we share with you tonight, as you can see, I have lots of other leaders on here with me who have built successful Mary Kay businesses through all different seasons of life. And so my prayer is just that if you're watching, you hear something that either connects with you or helps you think a new thought, or bring somebody to mind in your life who you think would be a great fit for our company. Or who maybe has been praying for something like what we have to offer. So get those questions typed in the comments. Make sure you type in the comments and let us know that you're here. We will do a prize drawing at the end of the night. And also, if this opportunity is something that you've been considering, or maybe this is your first time ever hearing anything about how Mary Kay business works, and it just really tugs at your heartstrings, like you feel that gut feeling like, oh my gosh, this sounds like something that I have just been wanting, that I've been praying for. It only costs $30 to start a Mary Kay business and to become a Mary Kay beauty consultant. And we are going to be doing a giveaway for anybody who decides to take that leap of faith and start their own Mary Kay business by midnight Eastern tonight. You will go into a drawing to be reimbursed for that $30 startup cost. There's also a $130 startup option, and I will share those details towards the end of what is all included with that. But you can start a Mary Kay business for as little as $30. And to everybody who's watching, you know, I thought the statistic was that families in 2022 needed an extra $400-ish a month to live the same lifestyle that they lived in 2021. But I just heard a new statistics that's actually $800 to $1,200 extra a month. And I know that statistically, that applies to the majority of American families. So that means most of you watching this here tonight could benefit from making an extra $800 to $1,200 a month. But I also want you to know that our company is so amazing. You know, our number one national sales director in our company, she averaged over $220,000 a month last year. So obviously, not everybody in Mary Kay makes that, but that is what's possible in Mary Kay. And if you feel like you were called to do something greater, to be part of something greater, just know that those opportunities are available to you. And that's why we're coming to you tonight, because we want women to know that Mary Kay is different. We want them to know what is available to them within this company. And again, it might not be for you. It might be for somebody who you know, but we want you to be a connector, because we're looking for those women who show leadership qualities, who are hungry for more, who are emotionally strong, who have a hard work ethic. Because you bet that that gal who made $220,000 a month was definitely not, you know, sitting around scrolling on her Instagram, right? We're definitely not a get rich quick type of company, but we are a simple business. And I tell you, not one of these ladies you're going to hear from today have a background in sales, before they came into Mary Kay had a background in cosmetics, went to beauty school, none of that, but they were hungry and they were willing to learn and willing to step outside their comfort zone a little bit. And we can teach you how to do that. The women who you're going to hear from tonight, they've all earned, 5-figure incomes in 1 month in their Mary Kay business. They've all earned multiple cars. I should have added it up, but it's a lot of combined cars in this group, a lot. And we only have 7 leaders, including myself. So okay, so before I go any further, I do want to introduce myself. So as you guys can see, my name is Olivia Himmel. I've been building my Mary Kay business. I say I have kind of 2 starts in Mary Kay. When I first started, I was a college student. I was 18 years old. And what I want everybody to know is please do not overthink the idea of signing up to become a Mary Kay independent beauty consultant. Please don't overthink it, because at 18 years old, I knew the worst thing that could happen to me was that I would have essentially a cosmetic Costco membership. Like worst case scenario, I was going to pay this startup fee, which then it was $100. I didn't have the $30 option. And if I did nothing, my membership would just literally expire, just how it does at Costco, right? So please don't overthink it, ladies. But I knew that best case scenario, there could be income in it for me, a flexible way to make money while I was going to school. But God had bigger things in store for me. He knew that I was not cut out for a lifestyle that involved sitting at a desk for 50 hours a week, staring at a computer screen. And it's kind of funny now looking back in hindsight, 12 and a half years later, since I signed my beauty consultant agreement. I was just telling my husband the other day, I wish somebody would have done like a personality assessment on me at 18 years old, because knowing what I know now about myself, I am not the type of person who is meant to, sit in a classroom, sit in an office, have somebody else give me my schedule, have somebody else control my trajectory up or down a career path, my income level. I was absolutely meant to be an entrepreneur based on my strengths and based on the gifts that God gave me. And some of you who are watching this tonight might be kind of in that same situation. Like you're in something that's comfortable, but you're so uncomfortable. And that's how I felt. I never felt like I was truly in the right place, even though maybe I did well at what I was doing. I was successful in school. I was successful at work. I was good at my job, all those things, but I always felt so unsettled. And I know there's women watching this tonight who probably feel that same way. And I also know that you're here tonight watching this for a reason. I don't believe you're here by accident. And so when I was out of college, having signed my beauty consultant agreement 4 years ago, just thinking, or 4 years previous to that, just thinking that it was going to be a Costco membership kind of for my makeup and skincare. I'd get a great discount and that was it. And now I'm working in my first corporate job out of college, and all those fears came true. And finally I was, not going to school anymore, but I'm looking at the next 20 or 30 years of my life, of my career, and thinking like, this is it. This is it. And being so limited in my ability to work in my strengths and also my ability to really impact other people. If any of you feel unfulfilled in your work, that's how I felt. And therefore I was very bored. I was just so bored because I didn't feel like there was really any greater purpose to the work that I was doing, and absolutely living for Friday and dreading Mondays, the Sunday scaries, all of those things. So in Mary Kay, I saw hope. I saw a future for myself, and I got to meet these incredible women. I decided to start building my Mary Kay business on the side of my full-time job. And I met people like the ladies you're hearing from tonight who had so much hope and so much joy and so much positivity. And I was definitely not seeing that in the women who I was working with in my corporate job. So over 8 years ago, decided to walk away from that and pursue my Mary Kay business full time. And I'm so grateful because now I get to sit here on this video tonight with these ladies and just talk about hope and a future, which so many people, especially women right now in this world, need that. We live in a very negative, hopeless world, especially over the last couple of years. And if anything, we've seen that, tomorrow is not promised, and having a plan B is the plan A, is the new plan A, right? So I just want to introduce them to you guys before we go any further really quickly. So let me switch this to a gallery view so that everybody can sort of wave at the screen when I say their name. So first, let me introduce Amy Kanka. She started her business when she was just 20 years old, and her previous career, she was the high school math teacher. And so since building her Mary Kay business, she's earned over $6,000 in 1 month. I'm not sure if you would have made that in 1 month as a teacher in your 20s, right? And she is currently enjoying the use of her first free car with Mary Kay. And then we have Erin Connell, who also started when she was just 18, like me, signed her beauty consultant agreement. And her previous career background was in marketing, in business. So she's the only person really with any kind of prior business training or experience before Mary Kay. She's earned over $10,000 in 1 month and has earned the use of 5 free company cars. And then we have Bobby Richards, wave. Hi, Bobby. Bobby also joined when she was 20. And she was a full-time student, but she was also a full-time manager at a McDonald's. And if any of you have ever worked in food service, any of you who are watching tonight, being a manager of any kind of restaurant, whether it be fast food or high-end dining, that is a high stress, lots of hours type of environment, and still decided that she needed Mary Kay as well. And since then, she has earned over $11,000 in 1 month. And she's earned the use of 4 career cars with Mary Kay, one of them being that beautiful pink Cadillac. And then we have Shelly Smith, wave Shelly. Shelly started her business when she was 28 years old. And she comes from a background in graphic design and public relations. Okay, I want everybody to hear this. So if you're doing something else, just pause and listen real good because I don't want you to miss this. Shelly has earned over $30,000 of income in 1 month for Mary Kay. Wow. She's earned the use of 9 cars, 7 of those being the pink Cadillac. Oh my goodness. Praise God. Okay, moving right along. Beth Lang, wave and say hi, Beth. So Beth started her business when she was 33 years old. She was a teacher and on staff at a church teaching Christian education. And she has earned over $10,000 in just 1 month. She's earned 11 free cars, 4 of them being that pink Cadillac. And Beth, I just love your story about how you moved to a completely new area, completely new culture. And your goal and your dream was to bring a pink Cadillac to prove that you can build a Mary Kay business no matter where you're at. So thank you for walking that out. And then we have Marianne Knox, wave Marianne. So Marianne started her business when she was 28 years old. She was a full-time nurse, left a big nursing career to pursue her Mary Kay business. And she has earned over $15,000 in 1 month. She's earned, ready, 19 free cars with Mary Kay. Oh my goodness. Just a lot of people don't even have 19 cars, period, ever in their life. So to have 19 free vehicles in your Mary Kay career is just amazing. 4 of those being the prestigious pink Cadillac. So, all right, I am going to move on to our panel now. So, wave your hand if you started your Mary Kay business when you were single, not married, no kids. Okay, so 3 of us, Bobby, Erin, and Amy. Wave your hand if you had babies, little tiny kids when you started your Mary Kay business, small babies. So Shelly, Beth, and Marianne. Yeah. How about, like school age children when you started your Mary Kay business? Okay. So, wow, those of you who did start when you had kids, they were real little, which, a lot of people, everybody considers a really crazy season. Okay. Were you a full-time student when you started your Mary Kay business? All right. Couple students. Were you working full-time when you started your business? How many of you had multiple things, like you were a student and you were working, or you had kids and you were working when you started your Mary Kay business? Kind of. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So that being said, we've got women on here from all different seasons of life, started at different seasons, and now are currently in different seasons of life. So I want to hear from women who started in those various seasons, starting with Amy. I'm going to have Amy share, switch to my speaker view here. Amy, will you tell us, how do you see, in just a minute or two, how do you see Mary Kay as a relevant opportunity for women who are in college?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're killing it so far, Liv. I'm so excited and fired up. I was reflecting on this, and I was trained like, you go to college, you get a job, you do that for 50 years. Hopefully you have enough money to retire. Hopefully you're happy. Like that was, what I came from. But really, isn't college supposed to be the time that you're like figuring out what you want to do and looking to the future? But all I did was like work a million hours doing like scrubbing dishes at a dining hall and, tutoring and all of that. And I didn't really have a lot of out of school experience, and I was going to be a teacher. And so starting my Mary Kay business, I was able to have so much more life experience while I was going to college. I was surrounded by people of all different ages, all different backgrounds. I had different life skills that people inside of college didn't, my friends inside of college didn't have. Meeting new people, money management, time management. And I've talked to so many people nowadays that just in the workforce today, it's hard to find people out of college that have those skills outside of just being a good student. So I never thought I would do Mary Kay as my full-time career, but I always thought it would just be a great resume builder and help me to be a better, well-rounded person going into the workforce. And then of course, God had a different plan and I do it full time.
Awesome. Thank you, Amy. Okay, so moving on to Erin. Erin has little children at home. So how do you see Mary Kay working for women who are raising babies and toddlers?
Hi, hello. So happy to be here to share. So yes, I have a 7-month-old little boy and a 2.5-year-old little boy. So we are in the throes of babies and toddlers and potty training, and it is wild and it is chaotic and it's messy a lot. And it's also mundane, but it's also messy, literally and figuratively. And I think through my Mary Kay business, it's blessed our family in so many different ways. I started my business with an eye on the future to be able to be at home with my kids. And so having a business that truly is flexible, if you're in a similar season, you know that your kids' schedules at this age are constantly changing. So what your baby's doing now is not what your baby's doing next month and the month after that. And so having the ability to provide extra income for your family that can evolve as your life evolves. That's not a set routine, not a set schedule that allows you to really sprinkle it into those small moments of your kids' lives is so special. So right now, you guys, I work my business at nap time when the naps happen. And then at night when the kids go down to bed. So a couple nights a week at 8 p.m., I hop on and do a party. And truly, now that we can do so much virtual, I don't even have to leave my house. So I don't have to miss out on bedtime. It also just allows for like social interaction and the ability to like put makeup on and play in skincare and cosmetics. And if we weren't doing this event tonight, like I probably wouldn't have gotten dressed today. So it gives you an outlet, and I wouldn't trade being a mom for anything, but having a way to provide for my family, knowing my kids are watching me, and I'm laying a foundation for the future. And it's fun it's kind of priceless. And then just one kind of last little closing comment. I know it can be so tempting in this season to think that like if you need extra money or maybe you're a stay-at-home mom. I stay at home with the boys and I work my Mary Kay business. So maybe you stay at home or maybe you work full time and you're looking for a way to make extra money or you would love to be at home. It can be tempting to look at an opportunity like this and think, oh, that will be great when my kids are older, when they're in school. And I just want to challenge you, as you'll hear from some of these ladies who have moved beyond the baby stages, I can see that life doesn't slow down. And so now I'm getting a lot of nods. So doing it now and laying that foundation now, again, nap time when your kids are in bed on the weekends. I challenge you that now is kind of the perfect time. This business is meant for us in the throes of life right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is a great segue. So Shelly, when you started your business, no kids, right? and now your kids are a little bit older, school age. So how is a Mary Kay business relevant for women in that season of life now?
Yeah. So, sorry if I told you incorrectly. So Lily was 6 months old. So just
Okay.
yeah. And so now she's 16, and then we have a 12-year-old son. So just crazy. And yeah, Erin, love everything you're saying. Love everything that everyone's saying. But two things. One, things that they don't tell us in school, or, we just live and learn. They don't tell you, oh, by the way, when you have kids, if that's one of your goals, they might have an 8 a.m. awards ceremony that you will want to go to. So, and your boss may or may not want you to take that time off, or your manager or whatever. Oh, by the way, if you're going to really want to go to that Mackinac Island field trip or whatever, but they may or may not like that you want to take a day or two off work or whatever. I crave that I get to be that mom. I crave that time. Those memories, so grateful, absolutely grateful. And the other thing, so you get to prioritize love. The other thing is it changes who you are in the conversations. So now that they're school age and teenage, and we're talking about colleges and, all those combos, my kids understand, which they didn't when they were little. They understand that this might sound crazy if you're out of Mary Kay, but one of my goals, since Olivia said like how much we earned in 1 month, one of my goals is to make what my husband makes in a year in a month. My 12-year-old understands that and knows that in Mary Kay that's possible. Mm-hmm. And that makes me freaking want to cry, because I'm so grateful that we are in this opportunity that can happen. And whether that never happens or that's not your goal or whatever, I want to live in a world where there's hope, and that I can live that out, and where you earn goals and fall on your face as well. But that, yeah, this is what my mom does, and this is what Mary Kay allows. And that he sees his dad going, yeah, Mary Kay, let's go. They get it. They understand. So I love, as every stage is fantastic, but as they're getting older, it's really cool to share that with them. So anyways.
That gave me chills. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Okay. So now moving on, Marianne. So you've built your Mary Kay business through pretty much every season of life, kids at all ages, and now grandkids, and taking care of aging parents and that whole thing. So share, in your current season of life, how is the Mary Kay business relevant?
So happy to share. Yeah, Mary Kay is founded on the principle of God first, family second, and career third. And they really mean it, which means when you have to be with your family when they need you, you can. And so I know the gals did a great job talking about the little ones. So where I am right now, as you said, was, taking care of my aging parents. My father took ill, was on the 31st of August, and was hospitalized in the ICU for 2 weeks. And then he passed away the very next day. And I bring that to your attention because I never had to ask anybody for time off during that time. I never had to worry that my nursing supervisor, when I was a nurse, was going to be like, wait, you don't have that much time. And I never had to ask permission. And it was amazing to see that the consultants and directors in our area pulled together and took care of my consultants during a time where I needed to have my family first. These are things that you don't see in the real world. These are things that happen in Mary Kay, excuse me, because of the philosophy. When my mom was ill and we could make the decision, the big Italian family chose hospice in the home. And those are the things that we will always cherish and remember, that we could help her. And how is it that, when we're a kid, our parents take care of us, but then we have the privilege and the blessing to take care of our parents when they need us. That has always been so amazing to me. And then, of course, I have 2 grandbabies, 2-year-old and 4 months old, Oakley and Oliver. We have Oakley and Oliver days because grandma can go every Friday to my daughter's home. She lives an hour and 15 minutes away, to be there to help her, with the little ones and to have this relationship with my grandbabies, that's what I live for. I just am so excited. And to say too that, I've heard this before I had grandkids, that first of all, they steal your heart. They steal your heart. They really do. But I've also realized that they steal your pocketbook too. And so in Mary Kay, you can make a lot of money because every time I go, I'm bringing them toys and gifts and food. So anyway, I know that with Mary Kay, through all the seasons, our best days we haven't experienced them yet. They are here. They are yet to come. So thank you for letting me share.
Absolutely. And, I'll just say on a personal note, Marianne, women like you, and some of the other ladies on this video tonight is one of the reasons why I decided from a young age to pick Mary Kay as a career. And I know the other girls on here who also started at a young age, because we saw women who were maybe 20, 30 years older than us and thought to ourselves, I want to be like her. When I'm at that stage of life, I want to think like her. I want to have her joy, her energy. And so you just perfectly exemplify that. So thank you. So speaking of, different generations, another reason why I really wanted to do this tonight was because there's a lot of talk in the world right now about the different generations, right? The boomers, the Gen X, Y, Z, millennials, and how everybody works differently, has different values. The world is evolving and changing. And so I think it's so important, especially as we see, let's get real, mental health issues rising amongst our youth. Like that is a very prevalent issue that we're hearing about a lot. And I see these women in Mary Kay and the relationships that they have with their kids. I don't have kids yet. And that was another thing that was inspiring to me when I decided to work my Mary Kay business as my full-time career. Is like, wow, these kids who were raised in Mary Kay households just walk and talk a little differently. They think a little differently, in a good way. And so I would like a couple ladies to touch on that. Bobby, so your kids are still a little bit younger, but I would love for you to share, how do you see your business having an impact, like generational impact and change on your kids, even at the young ages that they are now? Oh, we can't. Can you guys hear Bobby?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now I can hear you. Okay.
Oh my gosh. I was like, no. Okay. So I actually have a 3-year-old boy, an 8-year-old girl. I have an 8-year-old niece that I am now her guardian, and a 15-year-old niece that I am her guardian of. So we have a very busy household here. And so speaking just from, my side of the family growing up, I was raised by my grandmother, and she would always say that we were going to break the cycle. And I didn't really know what that meant. I thought it meant like I had to go to college. I was like, okay, great. So I go to college. So I went to college thinking that's what I was supposed to do. Went to college for 3 years with no degree. So that was really fun to keep writing those checks for nothing to show for it. Right. So I did all that, but I started, when I got older, I realized that it wasn't college she was talking about. She meant poverty. She meant mindset. She meant positivity. You know what I mean? She meant I was going to break the mold of this situation that we were in, how our family for generations and generations lived, and how we were going to do things differently. And so now moving forward, I'm so excited. The way I think now, who I am now is going to impact all the rest of the generations of our lineage, my kids and their kids, and now my nieces and their kids. And just so grateful for the positive environment Mary Kay has, brought into my life, because I didn't realize how negative I was and my family was growing up until I got around really positive people. I thought everybody was weird. I was like, this is all fake. Nobody's really this happy. Nobody, you know what I mean? And so just super grateful. So.
Awesome. Thank you. And now, Beth, your kids are in college, out of college, married. So how have you seen your Mary Kay business have that generational impact?
It's so interesting. I got a text from my son, who's 22, last night, and he is moving himself from the college town that he just graduated from to a school in Iowa, about 5 hours away, to start grad school in the fall. And he's doing that today. My husband and I are meeting him with a bunch of his stuff in Iowa tomorrow. And, there's moments in life where you just sit back and you look at your child. My son was 4 when I started Mary Kay, and watching the confidence of a young man say, hey, I'm going to head over early. I'm going to get my apartment. I just want to get settled. He starts a job that's going to fund his grad school. You just go, that's amazing. Like, that's amazing. And so to watch kids that were raised in a home that I got to be around all the time. Recently, I asked my son, what do you remember about Mary Kay growing up? And he's like, well, I pretty much remember that on Thursdays you had a meeting, and sometimes I was awake when you came home. That is what he remembers from an opportunity that has provided the income that paid for his entire college. For my oldest daughter's entire college, they both are they've graduated debt free. My youngest, I have 3, is in college. She will graduate debt free. And his memory of my work is that I was gone one night a week to a meeting. That brings me a ton of joy. So to watch their confidence, their ability to get up when they fall down, because they watched that happen. They watched a mom that had big goals and didn't hit them, and a mom that had big goals and then did hit them. My kids are my biggest cheerleaders. They're the most curious about what happens in my world because it's so different than any other mom. Another story I think of with the way that our culture has impacted our kids happened at a lunch with moms on a bring your mom to school day. And we all took our kids out to lunch. And I was the only one that didn't have to ask off work. And all the moms were sitting complaining about their jobs. All of them. They were all complaining about their jobs. And one mom turned to me and she said, you don't have anything to say, do you? I'm like, I don't. And my daughter heard that. And she, on the way home, commented, she goes, Mom, you're the only one that wasn't complaining about your job. Wow. What an awesome picture to paint for them on what you bring into the world. And so I started when my kids were 6, 4, and 2 with the goal of being in Mary Kay for 5 years. I started just because I was curious. I just wanted a little extra because I wasn't working and had no extra cash. And I'm so grateful that I followed that curiosity, because what Erin said earlier, what her kids doing this month are going to be different next month. That doesn't stop. And the drop off and pickups are more significant and more expensive. And so that curiosity of it led me to this place. I'm so grateful for. So particularly in what I have watched it unknowingly get passed on to my kids.
Wow, absolutely. And so that brings me to my next point. I think we can all sit back and look at how our business has not only impacted our lives, but the lives of our kids, of our families. And so it makes us think, what if we hadn't said yes? What if we had let fill in the blank hold us back? And so I know that there's women watching this right now who are having that stirring in their heart and in their gut, this sounds so great, but I'm just not sure about fill in the blank. So I just want to go around to each person and just say the one thing, just the one word. What could have held you back from starting your Mary Kay business? So I know for me, it was fear of the opinions of other people was my thing. So Amy, what about you? What could have held you back?
Really putting us on the spot here, huh? I think kind of like what people said, that generational different. No one in my family is an entrepreneur. No one in my family's done anything outside of the mold, outside of the box. So yeah, just being different than what's come before.
Yeah. Erin.
Similar to you, fear of doing something different than what people thought I would do.
Shelly.
Man, we all got kind of similar. Yeah, my mother, when I made a decision that I was going to do this, she said, "Oh, are you going to do that for 6 months and then get a real job?" And I was like, "Lady, either pay my consumer's energy bill or buy something." Just kidding. But you don't need everyone's approval. You need to be hungry and be teachable and coachable. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Bobby, what could have held you back?
So I have a couple. So first thing I would say is the first thing that would held me back is my sister was doing Mary Kay. And so I didn't want to do it because I thought Mary Kay was a scam, and I told her that. And so I had no interest in doing it. She made me sign up. And then my second one is when I got into Mary Kay, I shortly met my now husband, and for years, he did not like Mary Kay. He hated Mary Kay. He told me, Shelly, over here, or whoever she is on your screen, was brainwashing me. And so I'm not kidding. And so just for years of having that negative, like, you know what I mean? That kind of like thought process of, dude, this is going nowhere. You're getting brainwashed. Mary Kay's a scam for years, for probably 2 years, I would say. And then I shut him up real quick when I got him a turkey gun that he wanted and a free car and took him on a Bahamas cruise. And so I'm all about buying your sport. So don't worry about what your husband says. I don't care. Do it anyway. Bad marriage advice, but do it anyway.
Love that. Marianne, what could have held you back?
The naysayers, I was a nurse. I was going to get my master's degree, get my PhD. I just wanted to teach, and to know that all my college education was going to be thrown away because I was going to start a Mary Kay business. So had I listened to the naysayers, I would not be here today. Yeah.
And Beth, what about you?
It just wasn't never a thought on my brain. Kind of like I never thought of being a professional basketball player. Like I'd be like, why would I would never have that thought. That makes absolutely no sense at all. That's kind of how I felt about Mary Kay. So it wasn't like it just didn't make sense. It was like, oh, well, yeah, no, never Mary Kay, never professional basketball player. So I just didn't even, so that might be you. Like, I never even thought about it. Why would I even have that thought? That makes no sense. So that was me.
Yeah.
Picturing Beth in a sweatband playing.
All right. So therefore, some good points brought up, why would I ever consider something like that? Mary Kay's a scam, all of those things. So we have one of our speakers, Shelly, was a part of another direct selling company at one point. And we try not to tear down other companies in Mary Kay. We're here to represent Mary Kay Ash's brand. But we all are sold out that this is the opportunity of the land. This is the best place to be as a woman in America today, whether it's for that additional $800 to $1,200 a month or for a career change like it was for all of us. And we all chose Mary Kay. And we can all honestly sit here in confidence and say that we have yet to hear of another opportunity that stands up, both on paper with how we're paid, but also with our culture. And so I would love, Shelly, for you to share, what makes Mary Kay different than the other company you were in? And why would you choose Mary Kay over something else?
Oh gosh. Yeah. I say that all the time. Like, if there's something better, I'd be doing it, guys. Like, that's the bottom line. So in the summer, I was in college, so it was a summer job, and I'm really grateful that I did it, or that my mom encouraged me to do it. Which is just ironic, because then when I was in my, she was not supportive, but for the summer, yeah, it was great. I really had to step out of my comfort zone. I went to my own trainings, it was phenomenal for just personal growth. And I learned a ton. Part of what I learned is I chose now to be in a consumable, a company that represents a consumable product. So that's just logic. Things, for example, that are in my kitchen, they're phenomenal, but I got them 20 years ago, legitimately. And they're phenomenal. I use them every day, quality stuff, but I don't need more. So if you're looking to make money as a business owner, make it consumable. I mean, that's just business, 101. And then the other difference is our culture. From highest to the living it out, we preach and live out the golden rule and the go give philosophy. And it's not a backstabbing. It's a truly treat others like you want to be treated. Like, I'm still trying to get my kids to do that too. But so it's throughout all of it, right? So from a business standpoint, that's absolutely brilliant. I'm grateful for that, and that we get to treat each other that way, and that my consultants are like just all of it, the culture. I could go on and on. Our charitable foundation, the heart, huge heart, that every time you are washing your face with our cleansers or using, I mean, it's so much more, the heart behind it.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so I'm going to have Marianne share to bring us home to wrap us up here, and then I will show the different startup options, because again, I would encourage you, if you're a guest and you're watching this tonight, by midnight tonight, if you decide to start your Mary Kay business for $30, like Erin and I had lunch today at Panera, and that costs more than $30. And that's not lasting past, 1 p.m. earlier today. So by midnight tonight, and you'll go into a drawing and possibly get reimbursed for that $30. But all I can say is I bet you'll be glad that you did. I bet you'll be glad. So Marianne, why do you feel women today, you've built a Mary Kay business through many different seasons of life, different decades, different economies, different cultural norms, societal norms. So today, why do women need this opportunity?
That is so great. We just lived through a pandemic, right? It rocked our world, didn't it? And we didn't know if we were going to get COVID, we were going to die, people that we loved. It was like, it really rocked our world. And I think what it did for women is it made them look at what they're doing, and is the work that they're doing matching their values. And so we were looking at, as I said, why we do it, what we're doing, and again, does it match my values? Women had to stay at home. We all did, and be home with the little ones and learn how to teach them when they're not a teacher, and just really forced into a new role and a new life. But what is interesting is that as a result, what happened is Mary Kay did this survey and discovered that women want certain things today. And this is what makes it so relevant. And I'm going to ask you this question, because when you work for someone else, you are investing in their dream. And so the question for you today is, do you want to work for a boss, or do you want to be the boss? And you said it before, entrepreneurial venture means you get to call the shots. You get to do what you want to do, and you have to work, right? We're not going to sit back and hope for sales and team building and cars. You do the work, but what do you want to do? What if you could set up a schedule with 1, 2, or 3 2-hour time blocks and make $100 in those time blocks? You get to decide how many you want. And the question is, how long does it take you to make $100 in the job you're currently working in? In Mary Kay, we teach you how. We don't just say, okay, sign up today for that $30 e-start and good luck. No, we hold you by the hand. We take you by the hand. We teach you how. We invest in you and your success, because as Shelly said, that's our culture. We want people to be successful. And in a recent study, guess what women really want today? And this is why Mary Kay works. Number one, they don't want the 9-to-5 anymore. They want flexibility, right? Where you can call your own shots and be where you want to be when you want to be there. Number two, they want to work for a calling. They want it to be a calling. And we have that. Our mission is to enrich women's lives. It's to help women realize how great they really are. And if just one more woman realizes that each day, it'll be a great day. And those are words from our founder, Mary Kay Ash. And the third is they want a real leadership opportunity. We didn't get a chance to talk and lay out all the leadership opportunities in Mary Kay, but this is the place. Imagine me going into my nursing supervisor's office and saying, Denise, I want to talk to you. I want your job. I probably wouldn't have been there for very long, right? But in Mary Kay, when a consultant says to us, I want to be a director, I want to earn a car, we hold them by the hand and we teach them how. And so that is why Mary Kay, and they say, wherever you are, you can aim higher and they'll take you there. So I know that we are a company made by a woman for women, And it's so exciting to be a part of this, also too, very relevant. We talked about inflation. We talked about the need for extra money for gas and groceries. Mary Kay is the opportunity right now.
Awesome. Thank you, Marianne. Okay, so I am going to put up on my screen here the different startup options. So let your consultant know tonight if you want to take that leap of faith. And as Marianne said, you'll be taught everything you need to know. So $30 eStart, you get your processing service for debit and credit cards and your Mary Kay personal website. The full starter kit plus eStart, you get the same stuff, but you also get an entire kit. I believe it's about $500 worth of products now, and samples, supplies. And with either option, the 30 or 130, there's the optional sample pack add-on. If you're somebody who you think you would like to work your Mary Kay business virtually and have samples to mail out, that's a really fabulous deal with enough samples for about 30 people. So I just want to thank you all again for tuning in tonight. We will tally up all the prize drawing entries, and if you win, you will be contacted about your prize that will be gifted to you by your consultant or her director. So thank you again for supporting your consultant, for being here tonight. Thank you for the ladies who are on here for investing your time and just being a part of my story in Mary Kay. I appreciate you all. So have a fabulous evening, everybody, and happy June.